Welcome back to the Blue Door Pub Thunderdome for another Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Show about everything and nothing at the same time. It's like a reverse Seinfeld. Well, no. Nah, it's like Seinfeld. And remember, everyone's middle name is Jerome. Sitting shotgun with me today is Uncle Nick. Follow him on Twitter at Nickason. Hey, how's it going?
Good. Great to be back.
You are a presence.
I'm a presence?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I am if I'm here, yeah. As the definition of what presence is.
Tell friends, spread the word, iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, and like us on Facebook, facebook.com/bullshow. That's very important. Coming in on a Monday, and a little bit of snow on the ground, although every time a weather person from the Twin Cities opens their dirty mouths, I don't believe a word they say. Like, they could honestly say that Hillary Clinton won the popular vote, and I'd be like, bullshit. I don't believe you.
That's because they were wrong on one storm this year.
We've been over this whole thing about being a weather person. That I understand that you have to oversell things because people are stupid, and they'd be like, "Oh well, even though it looks like it's a blizzard outside, the weatherman said it'd be a dusting. So let's just drive on these ball tires down the highway." And then the news be like, "Tragedy struck a Prior Lake family on I-35 as they drove on ball tires recklessly because the weatherman said that there would be a dusting of snow and it was a blizzard." More at 6. Oh, maybe it's just a self-perpetuating news cycle.
Self-perpetuating?
Yeah, like the weather people oversell or undersell storms so that there's news at the top of the show.
Oh, I get what you're saying.
It's a conspiracy. It's a cabal.
That's actually pretty clever.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised we're not at a point yet where news organizations or weather for the hell of it. Let's just say start getting sued because of inaccurately reporting the weather.
Oh, I bet you the Weather Channel's been sued multiple times, except the cases have been thrown out because they're stupid.
There'll be one point, I think, where they'll actually be like, where some judge will be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm just gonna go with it.
Speaking of go with it, how was your weekend, Nick? What'd you do?
It was pretty good. I had a pretty busy weekend. Saturday, I had a taco feed for a benefit for family friends in St. Paul at the halftime rec for the George Pidich family.
Hey, come on, support George, or as we call him, Jorge.
He's not Mexican at all.
What happened to George?
He died of a motorcycle accident a year ago down in New Orleans.
Oh,
and
what does he need the money for?
I believe it's a fundraiser for. He was a teacher, so
yeah.
It was a fundraiser for kids that he worked with down in New Orleans. So
now I feel bad making that cheap joke.
That's fine. We did not. We voiced this before, so you're fine.
Yeah.
So that was pretty nice. And then I went out to dinner with my cousin Becca down in. So yeah, two dinners. Story of my life. Went down to Lone Oak Grill in Eagan and caught an awesome Teddy Holiday show and had some awesome.
Wait,
whiskey.
Teddy Holiday?
The Teddy Holidays.
Oh, I thought you said Titty Holiday, so I thought it was going to be like the Mariah Carey. All I don't want a lot for Christmas. This is the Titty Holiday. Wah wah.
That's exactly how she sounds. So,
you can never really go wrong with barbecue.
No, not at all. And I haven't eaten in the South like Texas wise to, compare barbecues and stuff.
Yeah.
I like the places that we have in Minnesota, though not a ton of barbecue places. We have decent amount that I'm happy with. I'll say that I do love Minnesota barbecue.
Well, the great thing about it is that even if you go to like a chain place, like a Famous Dave's, it's still good because you can't really fake slow barbecuing food. Like, yeah, you'll barbecue it ahead of time, and then you'll just kiss it up on the grill, and then you send it out, and that's how most places do it. But you can't McDonald's eyes, or you can't fast food barbecue. Like you can't just have it in like little warming trays and good to go.
I question was Texas, Louisiana. I think Kansas City, I think, is always considered like the heart of. I think Nashville even tries to self-proclaim themselves as good barbecue places.
Oh, not so much Nashville. Memphis is the place in Tennessee. Yeah, like Nashville's barbecue is still really good, but mostly because it's like in the Memphis sphere.
Okay.
Like Memphis has a place called Rendezvous, which is just amazing for ribs.
You been there?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's so freaking good. What are your favorite barbecue meats, Nick?
I'm a big brisket fan. If a place can make a good brisket, I love. Very simple. I think a very not complicated food, not a super messy food.
Yeah, I think I'm ribs first and foremost. Then like brisket, pulled pork is sort of in the same strata. I never really got barbecue chicken or like smoked chicken. Like I understand it, I get it. Or smoked turkey. It's like fair.
Yeah, I prefer the beefs and the porks over the chicken turkeys and.
All right, here you go. The Pride of Tennessee. You get some Memphis ribs. You get some Nashville hot chicken, which is really good. Which is actually a thing. It isn't just a KFC concoction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Basically, you take a fried chicken and then you take like a buffalo sausage, just like cover it. It's like buffalo wings except the entire chicken.
Interesting.
Just a good way to explain it. Yeah.
You made a pulled pork earlier, I think a week or two ago.
Yeah.
Do you ever make brisket?
Occasionally, since we don't have a smoker at this house. I haven't done it in a long time, but I think I'm gonna get a smoker this summer. So we'll have to do more brisket.
I would love to be a part of that.
Yeah, like smoked brisket is phenomenal, but also just like if you do up a brisket in a crock pot or if you roast a brisket, still pretty damn good. I mean, it's a giant hunk of slow cooked beef. Like, what do you want from me?
My uncle did it last year. I think he had like an 8 or 10 pound like beef or whatever part of the body that thing comes from. But I just remember it took a majority of the day to cook it. Like you slow cook it, I think in a smoker for like hours on end, and like you kind of constantly watching the temperature to make sure it's obviously cooked all the way through. And he kept complaining about like sometimes the cooking would stall and like the meat wouldn't the meat wouldn't reach this temperature A here,
Mm-hmm.
And like so then you're like waiting for it to just hit that temperature before you can start taking it out and carve or shred and.
Yeah, that's the thing about barbecue too is you never have to worry about salmonella. You have to worry about botulism, but not salmonella. There you go. Let's see, my Friday went to the Wolves and Warriors game with a bunch of like Vikings blogger sphere people, Arif Hassan, Eric Thompson, Lindsey Young, Daniel House, and Yinka Allende. And it was fun. I was trying to think of the last Wolves game I was at, and it might have been at least 10 years ago, maybe longer than that, because I'm pretty sure Stephon Marbury was still on the team. So it might have been like 15, 16 years.
I think I was at a game maybe I'm thinking 2 years ago. I went to a game, fairly inexpensive. The Wolves weren't particularly doing too well.
The Wolves have been bad. Like, tickets have been cheap. It's just more of it's not an economical thing. It's more of I don't want to go sort of thing.
Like any sporting event, though, even if, like, for me, I think I said on the show, I'm not a big basketball fan at all. But when you go, the experience of going, the live entertainment that you get to see there, the fans that are around you, the good fans, not the annoying drunk ones or the jerky a-hole ones, like the fans who are in it to have a good time. I mean, it's a good experience to have, and, with it being as inexpensive as it is right now, other than like maybe parking and, obviously the cost of food, you can have a good time with your family or with some good friends for not too bad of a budget.
Yeah, I do think that the NBA especially is geared more towards a younger demographic. It is. We did see a lot of families with kids there. That's not what you would see at a NFL game or a hockey game or a baseball game to a degree. Like, those are the drunk sports, like especially the NFL. Like that's one of my that's one of the big drawbacks of going to an NFL game. It's all drunks. It's all drunk, obnoxious a-holes. And NBA, well, especially since we saw so many Warriors fans there, and they're all under 12 because that's the Warriors demographic. Because kids are Kids' loyalties are they waver quite a bit.
Interesting, I never thought about that.
They're definitely quick to go on the bandwagon. Like, how come you saw so many kids like 2 years ago in Seahawks jerseys, and then they got a Panthers jersey, and then they're just like dabbing all over the place? It's like, yeah,
Dabbing.
that's what they do. But yeah, speaking of parking, so one of the things I like to do, whether it's well, not obviously not a Wolves game since I haven't gone a long time, but Twins game, especially if it's a big opponent coming into town, I will skip parking. I will park somewhere in Uptown and then get an Uber down to Target Center, Target Field, and it's awesome because it's like an $8 trip one way, so it's like 16 total. It's basically what you pay for parking, and you don't have to worry about getting all up in there trying to find a spot, all that aggravation. You literally just boop, 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 boop with the phone. It's awesome.
Technology is great. I mean, it's so convenient. I know I have aunts and uncles who I think can barely use their cell phone. They know how to do Uber. You know, it's easy to set up, and it's great.
Yeah. So just parked at the Target in Uptown, and then got down there. It was perfectly fine. Oh, it was awesome too. Since we were meeting up at Kieran's beforehand, since it was a giant traffic jam down there. And also, every time that there's a big event, whether it's like the Yankees or the Cubs are in town or, like the Warriors are in town, there's always a road closed for construction. And then it's always like freaking Mogadishu down there as far as like traffic jam wise. It's like the Baghdad Highway of Death from the first Iraq War. Wait, no. What was that called? It doesn't really matter. But so we're stuck in we're stuck in traffic on First Ave. Like the thing was a parking lot, so I'm like, I'm just gonna get out right here because it was like 500 feet away from Kieran, so just like tuck and shoulder rolled, and it was awesome. And it was fantastic. It was Target Center's largest crowd ever. It was I think they said it was like 20,000 plus, which it didn't seem that full. It honestly didn't. Like the corridors and the rush to get out was kind of busy, but overall it didn't seem like that huge of a crowd, and there's a lot of empty seats around.
How big is the capacity for Target Center?
I imagine 20,000.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, and it was funny. We saw former Viking and now TV and radio personality Ben Lieber. He was there, just chilling. Yeah, he. Actually, he was at a concession stand. By the way, the Target Center concession stands. Something to be desired. Like they're very basic, straight ahead stuff. It's kind of ghetto. The renovations are coming. I get it. Let's do it. Because I'm not a person who is like so high maintenance like we need sushi at a baseball game sort of deal. But the hot dog, pretzel, chicken fingers. And then like the nachos, where it's not even like nachos, it's just like chips and like the orange squeeze pump cheese. Yeah, you can do a little bit more than that. You know what I mean? And also, their pizza sponsor is Freshetta, which is a frozen pizza. Your pizza sponsor is a frozen pizza. What is this? A high school game? Like, because you remember high school. Like the Booster Club would get a bunch of Tombstone pizzas, and they put them in like those giant square ovens, and then they'd sell a quarter of it for $2 a piece.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was great for high school.
I think Papa John's has the XL market. I don't know who the pizza chain is at Target Field.
Freshetta, you're not even like a high end frozen pizza. Like DiGiorno beats you, and DiGiorno sucks. So I guess we can say goodbye for Freshetta. That sponsors the show.
I mean, I see nothing wrong with hot dogs and stuff, but the way you're sounding like it sounds like it's like 80s hot dogs and 80s nachos. I mean, you can do modern nachos and modern hot dogs and make it fine. I mean, Target Field.
Yeah, like even like CHS Field, like their food is amazing and like light years ahead of where Target Center is. And I get it. It's probably part of the renovations, but I mean, come on, bro. Come on, man.
Well, how are the prices? Are they modern prices, or at least?
No, they're modern prices. Like I think it was like $10 for chicken finger. Oh, back to the Ben Lieber store. So we were in line for one of the concessions, and it was in the middle of a quarter. So we snuck out like, we'll beat some crowds. We'll grab a beer. We'll get something to eat. And when you do that, you're hoping that service is going to be fast, so you can get back to your seat. You don't miss too much. But we're standing in line for a couple minutes, and then Lieber is right up front. He's in the exit part. Where you're waiting to get your food. You're already paid and whatnot, and he looks a little exasperated. and the person in line next to us would be like, "Yeah, he's been waiting here for 15 minutes." I'm like, "Oh my God, you're basically missing the entire second quarter." I could see getting pissed. You're just waiting on like chicken fingers or something. And oh, by the way, like all this stuff, the hot dog, the chicken tenders, the pretzels, the whatever, they should all be ready to go. Like these should all be just ready, rip run, ready to go. Like we talked about. You can't fake barbecue. You can easily fake chicken tenders. Like, honestly, people will not care if you fry up a whole bunch of chicken tenders. You keep them in, like, a warming tray, and then you just, like, serve them up. Like, people honestly don't care if you get 20-minute. Oh, by the way, there's not much difference between a fresh out of the fryer chicken tender and a chicken tender that's been hanging around a warming tray for 20 minutes. There really isn't.
You think Target Center's objective for food is like made to order hot dogs and made to order chicken fingers?
Can I get a hot dog? Yeah, hold on. We just got to kill this pig, squirrel, raccoon in the back.
It's going to take 15 minutes. Come on, man. I can nuke one for 2.
Yeah. But it was a great game. The Wolves got to a big lead. They were able to hold on at the end. The Warriors blew a 102-101 lead, which is kind of funny. And, it was a nice little win, although it was kind of annoying that we were surrounded by kids. Now, the kids were well behaved, except the annoying thing about them was that they're all cheering for the Warriors. Yeah. And like, it was really cool to see because, like, all these parents were bringing their kids to this game, and it's, it was probably easily the most expensive game at Target Center this year because the Warriors were in town. But the parents, maybe they're Wolves fans, maybe they're basketball agnostics, maybe they don't have a team, but their kids obviously love the Warriors, and it was a nice little outing for them.
Yeah, the thing that would be annoying is, and like I understand that they want to be Warrior fans, it's just when it's a home game, you kind of expect a 3-to-1 ratio, maybe that like you'd be surrounded by Wolves fans,
It was about 50-50. Like surveying the entire stadium is about 50-50.
That is so interesting for not knowing a thing about the Timberwolves. Wow.
And it's not like the Wolves are a bunch of slappies either. Like they're flirting with the 8 seed. They might sneak into the playoffs. Like this might be a playoff preview. If the Warriors keep the 1 seed, the Wolves get the 8. And also, they got young stars. They got Wiggins. They got Levine. They got Karl Anthony Towns. So it's not like the Wolves are the freaking Washington Generals out here.
Washington Generals.
Yeah. And the best thing about it is that Steph Curry played like shit. He was garbage.
Interesting. We were able to hold him. Are we playing that much better? As I said, not knowing too much of the Wolves, because I know
the Wolves don't play defense. He was just bad.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I hope this is going to be a good spur up for Wolves fans to get excited for a team that we've been expecting year after year to to be more dominant. Having such young talent like number 1 seeders. I think isn't Towns and Wiggins both former number 1 seed players.
Number 1 pick, yeah.
Number 1 pick. So I mean,
number 1 seed players.
I don't know.
March Madness is coming. Maybe that's what you got.
Same thing, tomato.
Yeah. All right. So here's where the story sort of gets interesting. I wasn't able to Uber back from the Target Center. After the game ended, everyone dispersed. I was just going to get my Uber and then get to my car and then drive home. Perfect, right? But my phone had about 41% battery left, and then all of a sudden, when I had the Uber app up, just black. It just went black. I'm like, all right, so the app crashed. What the hell's going on? So I tried to power my phone back up, and then I got the dead battery symbol. So, like, the battery with, like, the red thing, and then it says, the little plug-in icon at the bottom. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And also, by the way, great timing. Honestly, if this had been, like, 30 seconds later, I would have had my Uber. It would have showed up. It'd be like, hey, man, can I borrow your charger? There we go. We're good to go. But this is like a sitcom. Like, speaking of Seinfeld, like, Oh, if Seinfeld was modern day, this is what would happen to George. Bing, ding, boom, ding, boom. Oh, my phone died just as I was trying to get my Uber. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. And fortunately, so I thought I was gonna have to do like the stupid douchey thing of like go into a bar and be like, "Hey guys, can I borrow your phone? Excuse me, ladies, can I borrow your phone?" And I'm like, I really don't want to do that. So I dipped into a hotel, which is gonna remain nameless because I might owe them money. More on that in the rest of the story. And I just strolled up to the front desk, and a bunch of Warriors fans were there, and I went up to the front desk. I was like, "Hey, can you guys give me a taxi? My phone died when I was trying to call my Uber. Can I just get a ride to Uptown?" He's like, "Yeah, sure, no problem, man. We can take care of that. Just have a seat. We'll be good to go." And now I didn't say that I'm not staying at the hotel. I just sort of walked in. I think he assumed that I was staying at the hotel.
Interesting.
Yeah.
If you just walked in,
Because if I just walked in from the door, like the front desk is in view of the door, so if I'd been the first person in line, I think he would have seen that I just walked in off the street. But since there was a bunch of Warriors fans in the lobby asking like, "Hey, what's a good place to go get a drink or go dancing?" Blah blah blah. I was just in line in the queue, so I think he thought that I was at the hotel. So he calls the car, comes in a couple minutes, and it's this really nice like Lincoln Town car, like high end stuff, like what taxis used to be, or like if you have a car service. So I'm like, "Is that it?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we're good to go. Thank you, appreciate that. So we get in. We go to Uptown, and then I try to pay to the guy, and he's like, "No charge, no charge. Hotel, it's God, what's the term? Complimentary, yeah, hotel complimentary service or concierge service, whatever." So I'm like, "Oh shit." So I leave him a tip, and then I get out, and I'm like, shit. Now I think I might owe the hotel money. Because I never explicitly said, like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't con anyone here. I wasn't, this wasn't leverage. I wasn't Timothy Hutton being the grifter here. So I never said that I'm staying at the hotel. I never said that to the front desk guy or the driver guy. And I just think they assumed that I was staying at the hotel and needed a ride to the Uptown Target, which is something that downtown hotel guests frequently need to do.
That does not sound like anything that was your fault.
Yeah.
I definitely no. They either assumed and wanted to be kind, or it was their mistake, and you owe them nothing.
Maybe they thought I was homeless because I kind of look scrub mode. I was wearing like a hoodie and like my like my puffy vest thing. Although that is modern homeless, since the entire ensemble costs like $30, maybe.
Modern homeless.
Yeah.
That just sounds like one. I would obviously try definitely to go back to the hotel again, and maybe try to stay there, out of kindness. But you did nothing wrong. I don't see that at all. I think it's just a common mistake, or maybe they have that type of quality of service to give someone a ride when they need it.
Well, now if I'm pretty sure that if I would have just like winked at the front desk guy, that there would have been a lady in that car. Like those windows were dark tinted, and it had the partition that could go up and down with the driver. I don't think I've ever seen that before in a town car. Like you obviously see that in limos, but that's kind of weird.
Interesting. Huh.
Yeah. So I screwed that up. If my eye had been bugging me and just I accidentally winked, there would have been a hooker and like a bag of blow in the back of that car.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Like, hang on, we got to pick up my friend in Lauderdale.
Also, you got to think that with the Warriors in town on a Friday, that the level of hooker would have been increased.
Yes. The level of hookers in Minneapolis change on which basketball team's in town.
That is true, actually. It's got to be. Something that is also true is daylight savings. We lost an hour between Saturday and Sunday as we sprung forward. Why do we still do this?
Hang on, I pulled it up for my news segment later.
The news.
It's something I've been doing research on it. John Oliver did a piece on it for their little segment of Why Is This Still a Thing? Very funny if you haven't seen it. I used to think daylight saving had something to do with farmers, farming or something. No, it was a way for a country to save money during like World War I. And I think studies have shown that it's not even true.
Well, like, save money how?
Energy bills, I guess. So like if you change the light up, light on time or something, like the sun, like the time, quote time when the sun rises and falls, like if you adjust the clock to it, people would use less, gas or something. I don't know.
This all seems very dumb.
Yeah, it's listed here on the Yahoo page. It says it was a fuel saving measure, and studies have shown that it really doesn't save that much. It's not really worth it, especially in our modern age right now.
Well, I mean, it's really awesome in the fall when you lose an hour, or no, you gain an hour, and then you get an extra hour of sleep. It's cool. But with spring, so now what was 5 p.m. is now 6 p.m., so now it seems like the days are longer now? Yeah, that makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think it's that, I don't want to use the word double-edged sword, but, I love it in the fall when we get to gain an hour. I'm like, oh, yeah, an extra hour of sleep. Woo! I love daylight savings. And then spring, it's like, oh, no, we lose an hour of sleep. Oh, I hate daylight savings. I mean, it's something where if the whole world did it, I'm like, whatever, that's just what the world does. But a number of countries have stopped doing this.
Well, there's even places, I think, in Arizona that is like, no.
Yeah.
We're not doing this.
Yeah, and that's very sketchy. It is annoying because I don't know how that affects the whole mountain central time and stuff. I mean,
they got to be in between like mountain and Pacific,
yeah.
So they just like switch sides like every 6 months. It's like Avengers Civil War. I don't know because I've never seen the movie.
I love that you're using that reference. Yeah. As I said, Arizona I think might be the only state in the U.S. And a number of countries. One, I was shocked that any other country does it besides ours, but other countries do. But I think it's wrong. I think it should be. It's just it doesn't work. I just think we should make things simpler and whatnot. And I'm tired of trying to remember how to adjust my car radio, my car clock every 6 months.
Well, what annoys me is that we get all these segments now in like the news and the Today Show. Science studies have shown that productivity dips during daylight savings because of lack of sleep and blah blah blah. But now, really, work productivity slips because it's March Madness, bitch. It's time to go.
Ooh.
Let's go, Kansas. What starts up this week? Yeah, brackets come out. Well, brackets come out tonight as we record this. Brackets have already been out as you hear this.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I do one every year, and this is one of those things where you definitely don't need to know a damn thing about college basketball to do a bracket. I mean, you just, we do an office pool every year, and someone who doesn't know a thing about the sport at all can win a bracket pool. So
yes.
Yeah.
Is that why you won last year?
Shut up! No, I haven't. I've never won. I've never won. I
never won anything.
I typically have what I call good day, bad day type of scenario for the weekends. Usually I'll have that period where like, oh man, day one a bunch of my teams I picked won, and then day two, oh none of the teams I picked won. So, and then usually by the Elite Eight, all my teams are gone.
Yeah, so it usually happens. Also, then like some autistic kid like wins it every year. Gets like all 67 games, right?
I don't think anyone has gotten any.
Win $1 billion. Remember that a couple years ago? Warren Buffett's like, I'll give you $1 billion if you pick all 67 games right.
I heard from my cousin that he still does something like that or similar to that for like people in his company. Like if you can pick all the teams that win the first round correctly, I think you get like $1 million or something.
Oh, that's pretty sweet.
Which doesn't sound too hard, but I mean, it's like picking all those games to be correct. I mean, It's not, it's a coin flip times a coin flip times a coin flip times a coin flip. That's very mathematically. I think it's easier winning the lottery. I think playing the Powerball, I've heard, is easier than having a perfect bracket in the NCAA.
Also, something easy to do is getting your ass down to Blue Door Pub. And here's what they're doing. Oh, my God. Every single Friday during Lent, all the way up through Easter, $12 all you can eat codfish at Longfellow and University on Como, plus $14 pitchers of B-side Pilsner. Worth it. Get both. Get entered in a drawing to win a bunch of cool Blue Door or Indeed stuff. And also 2-night stay at Chase on the Lake in Walker, Minnesota. So at the Longfellow, at the University on Como location, but hit up all three for the burgers, the world famous Blue Seas. We could have a whole show on Blue Seas, but Blue Door's definitely up there. And the thing I like about Blue Door is that they don't get into like the whole measuring contests of certain places have claims of having the best Blue Sea ever, and then they enter contests and blah blah. Nah, Blue Door doesn't do that. It's cool. It's chill. Do that up. TheBDP.com. Ooh, also catering weddings now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so check that out at TheBDP.com. We'll be right back with more Boo with Andy Carlson on a Monday. Coming back into the Blue Door Pub Studios for Monday's Bull with Andy Carlson and Nick.
I'm here sometimes.
It's like do you remember when gosh, who was it where the host had like this giant desk as like a bit, and like the sidekick had like the little piddly desk.
I'm trying to remember.
But that would be us.
At least I get a desk. I'm pretty happy and honored.
That's the way it should be. Speaking of getting desks, Riley Reeve can buy a whole lot of office furniture. Vikings free agency, run it through here real quick. He signed 5 years, $58.75 million with $26.3 guaranteed. Also, the Vikings picked up some right tackle help. Picking up former Vikings Ring of Honor legend Mike Remmers. 5 years, $30 million, 10 guaranteed from Carolina. Adding some bodies, helping solidify that offensive line. And yes, they're not Andrew Whitworth and they're not Ricky Wagner, but there's something. They're improving in the right direction. Also, Captain Munderland going back to Carolina on a deal. Cordero Patterson in limbo, has visited several teams already, still has not signed anywhere. I think that Cordero is finding that the market is not as big for him out there. And also, I love that he's retweeting like all the Vikings fans being like, Cordero, you should come back to Minnesota. And he's putting out Snapchats like, I want to be in Minnesota and shit. Come on, Rick. Come. That's like, okay. Negotiating through the media, sure. Adrian Peterson visiting with the Seahawks. I kind of hope he signs there because why not? Matt Khalil signed a mega deal with the Panthers for some reason. Rhett Ellison to the Giants and Jeff Locke to the Giants. So, Nick, thoughts on Vikings free agency so far?
I'm happy we're doing something. I remember
do stuff.
We want to be a team that's constantly improving, and but we don't want to sell the farm, as the saying is. I'm happy we got some offensive line help. I thought that was a top priority. Will these guys pan out? No one knows. I like to think that it's a step in the positive direction.
No one knows. Remember Queens of the Stone Age?
Yeah.
They're good.
Well, I've seen teams suck before, but they were the suckiest bunch of sucks that ever sucked.
That was the Vikings offensive line last year.
From what I'm told, I mean, there's still plenty of changes that could happen. I mean, we could still pick people up, right? I mean, there's many players on our team that could go. So I'm excited to see upcoming weeks where everyone else goes.
Also, one more thing I want to hit on before the news. So the state hockey tournament went down over the weekend, and some teams won. Sure. I think Grand Rapids won. Sure. I think it's interesting that hockey is split into two classes. With football, you're split into 6 classes and 9-man. So it's really fun to get like 6 state champions. Hockey, and I'm peripherally around the debate of should it be one class, should it be just one state hockey tournament. But then, smaller schools are at a disadvantage to the larger schools. I get that. And it's funny. The Minnesota State Hockey Tournament is, well, A, about the hair, and we'll get to that in a sec, and B, it's all about shitting on Metro private schools and also on West Metro public schools.
Yes, it is. No,
that's all it is.
Yes, and God, I hate to say it, I love it. It's fantastically funny.
Well, I feel like the opponents of these private schools or West Metro public schools like Wayzata and etc. You got to think a better chance than Daddy's money. That one's played out. Daddy's money. Yeah, you're damn right, because Daddy works hard to get him to a better school district. Sorry that your daddy didn't work as hard.
The thing about the Boys State Hockey Tournament is such a big event for Minnesota. XL is just
they sold it out.
Yeah,
numerous times over.
Yeah, the place is packed. There were fans all over. All the bars I went to, they had the games on, and the volumes for the games on for it. I mean, it's a Vikings game. It's a major league freaking sporting event to have these high school kids get this long weekend to play. I got to watch a couple of the games actually over the weekend. It was pretty great.
Now, the thing that always gets the attention of the national media outlets is the hockey hair. Right? Now, we're just watching this video on mute. It'll be in the show notes of the crazy ass haircuts that come in. So a lot of it is just long, mulletish, and definitely grow out the facial hair too.
Oh yeah. A lot of schools do it differently. I think my school, I feel like instead of growing long hair.
Hold on. This dude from, I don't know what school, Dallas Duxon, junior forward. So he's got the Fu Manchu going, and he's got like the bleach blonde, like He-Man locks. That's amazing.
He's not lying, folks. This hair is highly bleached white blonde.
So I feel like the crazier the hair, the worse you suck. Like this guy is on the 4th line, maybe.
No, you wouldn't be showing the 4th line in this. Like it's showing the people skate up when they do their intros. It's usually 1st line people.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
And I don't know what video. It's some guy on the roof.
Yeah, did you see the Minnesota State High School? Like, I'm gonna look that up. He had something very pithy to say about the hair.
All right. Last night, I talked about I went out to dinner. I was able to watch the championship game between Grand Rapids and Moorhead, and Grand Rapids won 6-3. It looked pretty one-sided. With Grand Rapids was in control of the game most of the time. I think they were up 4-0 before Moorhead came up with like 2 goals, like back to back. I mean, and even though the game did end 6-3. Coming into that third period, I mean, you still weren't sure who would come out on top, and it's a pretty exciting game for a bunch of young kids who, when you see them skate, sometimes they look like NHL players. A lot of times they look like toddlers.
The great thing about Grand Rapids, Minnesota, is that I looked it up on the map, and I had to zoom out 3 times to find a town that I actually knew like where it was.
Oh, there's Brainerd.
Yeah, that's how you know you're in the middle of nowhere, where you have to zoom out multiple times to find out, like, is this Westeros?
I love using a Game of Thrones reference there. There's a lot of excitement, a lot of buzz with them beating the big private schools in town here.
All right, so this is from Star Tribune, Howard Sinker. Oh, yeah, Howard's been on Purple for the Win a couple times. We know the drill every year. National news organizations discover Minnesota's high school hockey tournament. ESPN, New York Times, Sports Illustrated. It's a good story about this year. Wall Street Journal has taken note using the lens of the annual all hockey hair videos that have gone viral on YouTube in recent years. But as many Minnesotans eagerly await the news video, which comes out as soon as the tournament. The Journal found one big-time detractor, the Minnesota State High School League. Quote, That has absolutely nothing to do with our tournament, said Dave Steed, executive director of the MSHSL. It's a guy who's sitting in his living room taking photos off his TV set. My concern is for the kids and the tournament, end quote. So Dave Steed kind of got his stick up his ass about this whole thing. And, I sort of understand his perspective. Like, it's the thing that everyone knows most about this tournament nationally is this jabroni putting together these YouTube videos. But at the same time, it's getting recognized nationally. Like, if this guy didn't do the videos and they didn't go viral a number of years ago and years since, no one really care. Like, these national media outlets would not care about the Minnesota State High School League state championship tournament. Sorry, they wouldn't.
After this weekend's all said and done, I mean, how many people are going to remember too much of this?
That plucky team from Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
Which I thought was in Michigan. Apparently there's multiple ones.
There's a couple of Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
These kids are going to get their little spiel of fame here, but then it's going to be all said and done until next year's Minnesota State High School hockey team.
And, this is like a calorie burning, just kind of a fun fluff thing. So, Dave Steed, why'd you have to come out and just be an asshole about this? Like, yes, why have to be so serious about this? I mean, this isn't Eden Hall. This isn't, what were the Hawks from Mighty Ducks, the first one?
Were they not the Edens?
Were they just the Edina Hawks or something like that?
Something
like that.
Cool.
Yeah, this isn't life or death, man. This is the high school championship, and this is a fun aspect of the high school championship. Your tournament. Oh, yes, we understand your concerns are about the kids in the tournaments. Congratulations. Just embrace this. I mean, come on. Don't be an ass.
Some people just can't have fun.
Yeah, take hockey very seriously. Yeah. Speaking of seriously, let's do the news.
You are fake news. Sir, go ahead. Can you...
George Bush doesn't care about black people.
I ain't got time to believe. You can't handle the truth.
The news with Uncle Ned.
Dave Steed probably watched The Hangover and is like, well, we have great concern about the guy stuck on the roof. I mean, he could be suffering from dehydration and obviously sunburn. He could have died. He could have died up on that roof all because the fat guy put roofies in the Jägermeister. And very sad. Very, very, very sad. Disappointing. My concern is not about Bradley Cooper. It's about the kids in this tournament.
Yes.
Yeah. That was what you got.
All right. I'm going to talk about the big viral story that showed up last week.
BBC. Big Black.
Whoa. All right. Robert E. Kelly, a professor who's well known in the versatileness of, I think, South Korea news, was being interviewed by BBC via, I believe it's
probably Skype.
It's probably Skype. So, a personal interview conducted during home. Did you want to play the video?
Yeah.
Chris?
All right, so he's sitting in his office. Like you've seen the video. This thing just went nuts.
Scandals happen all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean
and then the kid walks in.
for the wider region? I think one of your children has just walked in. I mean, shifting
kid walks in like
shifting
a G.
sands in the region.
Yeah.
Do you think relations with the North
he
may
just,
change?
Pushes her away. Get out of here.
I would be
But look what else
surprised
comes
if
in.
they do.
Little toddler comes in.
Yeah, the best part is the toddler in the walker, in like the little Scootsmobile.
Pardon me.
Yeah. A lot of people said that this was his wife coming in, except no, she's obviously Asian. She's the nanny. Yeah, trying to drag him
To
out.
the region.
My apologies.
He's got half a smirk, but also
North
you can
Korea,
tell that he's pissed.
South Korea's policy choices on North Korea have been severely limited.
Also, I love that the nanny just like reaching in, trying to close the door right there at the end. Yeah, and all right, so get into the backlash.
All right. All right. Okay. So first of all, there's a lot of confusion now because, and I'm trying to find a story to confirm this, and I can't right now just because it's still a few days old. Whether or not it is his wife or his housekeeper, and
That's got to be the nanny.
No, I have seen videos online. I lost the site, but I did have a site of showing it. It was his wife. A number of them are saying it is his wife.
Oh, well, the wife doesn't look anything like the kids.
Ooh, zing. It could be a mixed marriage.
Like mixed marriage, like step by step, or like Brady Bunch, where it's like it's his kids from a previous marriage, but she's like a younger mom or younger wife.
Yes, it definitely could be.
Because those kids look completely limey, and the wife / nanny was very Asian.
Yeah, as I said, there's a lot of websites. Everyone's saying completely different things, and I don't think.
Is this going to be what color is the dress? Is it gold or is it black and blue? Is that his wife or is it his nanny?
So far there hasn't.
If it's the nanny, he's definitely stooping the nanny.
That would not surprise me at all. So, my big take on it is obviously, I'll admit, I laughed pretty hard when I first saw this video, and right away, trying to do more research on this, there's already backlash. If you see right away, he's kind of
he shoves the kid out of the way.
Kind of uses his hand,
tries to give her the Heisman.
Not breaking eye contact with the camera people at all, just moving the arm back, and then Kilo Toddler comes in right after, and then a woman who looks petrified, terrified, sprints in there faster than Marion Jones, just like smuggle the kids quickly out of there as possible.
Well, here's probably what's happened. So this guy is relatively well known, but this is probably his first crack at being in the major leagues, of being on the BBC. And they're talking about South Korea, North Korea relations. It's not like he's on there talking about, here's what Johnny Depp is doing on his private island in France. And they probably had a conversation beforehand. They're probably getting ready. He's getting the suit on, probably not the pants, because why would you wear the suit pants on a TV remote? And he's like, all right, now listen, this is Daddy's big chance. We're going to be on BBC One. This is very important. So please do not burst in and act all nonchalantly and then have your sister follow you. Savvy? And then he goes in the office, does not lock the door, and then this is what happens. Or even if the kid is like banging on the door on the outside, that would be bad as well. And it's funny, he goes through like the entire range of emotions. First off, the bit of shock, and then also he was panicked there when he was just trying to scoot the kid out. Like, if this was a lighthearted topic, like if this was like E! News or whatever, just pick the kid up, put him on your lap, and then have him add to the conversation. You could have a cute, like, Steph Curry, Riley Curry moment, and then that would be viral just for as many good reasons. But people are like, oh, what a terrible father. He's trying to push her out of frame. No, he's completely petrified. He's just trying to salvage this interview. And then when she's dragging the two kids out, he kind of goes through the range of smirking a little bit, and then also just like,
trying to remember what he talks about.
Shit. Like, I want to know what the conversation was after the stand-up hit. Like, when he came bursting out of the office, if it was like, it's okay, if they had to laugh about it, or if he's just like shit ripped, like completely pissed.
Okay, I'm the website I'm on now, cleveland.com, which /business. Nervous about here, but I've seen a couple episodes like this, a couple of websites last night trying to research this. Someone claiming to be the guy's mother called into a daily newspaper stating that one, that the woman is the wife and her two grandchildren, and that the kids are so used to being in there Skyping with their grandparents that maybe the kids thought that he was Skyping with the grandparents. Hence the kids are trying to break in, kind of go in and trying to, go into the room.
I love the kid just like walking in like a G. The first one. Just, ding, 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 ding.
See, I don't think this will be a big news topic much longer. I think this is going to be a quick 15 minutes of fame news segment. But as you were saying earlier, I'm quite curious. Can there be a follow-up interview, and can we see if the wife or kids have any black eyes or something?
No, that's too far.
Like if he's like,
how dare you?
That is not. No, that's not.
I love that the first kid walked in and was just like,
Look at me, sure. I'm the captain now.
No, I love this.
The BBC guy should have been like,
what would you say you do here?
And I'm liking that this is like on BBC and not like CNN or something. Like this is very British. Because I'm trying to find research on where this was shot, where this guy's out of. This one website, he's from Busan National University, associate professor.
Oh, so he's like in South Korea.
So
that would explain the.
He might be. Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So I think they had to interview him for because South Korea had this huge incident with. Obviously, there's North Korean instance, but their president just got ousted. Their first female president just got kicked the F out. So a very serious time. And
the BBC guy was like, so how would the Americans do the same thing if they were so inclined? Also, I like that this guy's like, if you listen to his accent, he's like a little Scottish. He's got some rough edges around him, a little Edinburgh. But, anyways. What's next?
All right, next story up is...
Oh, yeah, speaking to, hitting women, Floyd.
Yes. All right, we talked about it a few weeks ago. Floyd Mayweather, this Conor...
You are one pathetic loser.
He's going down. It's happening.
Conor McGregor fight. And it looks like Floyd Mayweather is out talking from Yahoo Sports here. He claims that he is out of retirement and he's calling for a fight as early as June with Conor McGregor.
And here we go.
I want to see this fight. Mainly because I want to bet on Conor 9-1. And just have him land just one square shot on Mayweather's jaw. And it'd just be over. It'd be so delightful.
So far there's no word from McGregor yet. One, I was kind of shocked, and I know we just did the story a couple weeks ago. I didn't realize that Mayweather was considered retired, but then again, I think like a lot of major sports, a lot of people say they're done. Let me give a quick example. Favre, but then I'm back. Guess who's back? Can you really retire?
Oh, no,
from the sport?
Just look at boxing. How many times have boxers retired and then unretired? How many times Manny retired? 4?
I think at least one, maybe 2. So, possibility of a fight. As I said, no word from Conor McGregor yet. I'm assuming this would have to be a Vegas fight.
Well, Floyd, it'd have to be Vegas. That's where you get the largest crowd and you'll be able to sell the most. But Floyd, he's 40. He's 49-0. He obviously wants to get to 50-0, and then have that be his legacy of 50-0, never been knocked down, and blah blah blah. But man, he's given up 12 years to Conor, and Conor's bigger than Mayweather. Conor's actually a pretty stout dude, and yes, he's not traditionally trained boxer, but he does have some boxing background, and he's a striker considered in MMA. I think this could still be interesting.
Yeah, no, this would be a very good fight if it happens now, sooner rather than later. You give Mayweather a couple years here, then, if you're a McGregor fight, I'm assuming you would want Mayweather to hold out, play when he's older. So I think.
And by the way,
chance improves.
So Mayweather. It would be different if Mayweather was a knockout type boxer, except no, he's a defensive guy. He's very smooth. He's very slick, and his last 6 wins have come from decision. The last time he knocked someone out was September 17th, 2011, over Victor Ortiz. Now, think of timeline-wise. The last time Floyd Mayweather knocked down an opponent, Christian Ponder was the savior of the Minnesota Vikings. First-round pick, Christian Ponder. All right, here we go. Let's see what number 7's got. That's how long ago this was. So we know that Floyd's not going to knock out Conor, and this thing is probably going to go the distance, all 12 rounds, and just one lucky shot. Since Conor's so unorthodox as it is, and he's a southpaw, come on, just one delicious shot, and come on.
I forgot. Is Mayweather? Is he? You said orthodox or?
No, I think he's Jewish.
No,
No, he's right-handed.
Okay, that's what I was. I see. Interesting. Okay. Obviously, McGregor has to be in top form. He has to get his act together and train like crazy to get it because Mayweather being older, I mean he can still be quick and it says very strong defensive wise. So I would assume this should happen for a more entertaining fight. This has to happen sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah, you can't drag this out for 5 years like Mayweather and Pacquiao.
Yeah. If McGregor, I mean if you're McGregor, you want to drag it out because I think McGregor can last a lot longer. I mean
he's only like 28.
He has a longer. Should I say the word shelf life? Yeah, longer shelf life than Floyd here because I don't care about either of these two fighters. I'd rather just see a fun fight now. Because I don't know, we'll see how fun that Pacquiao fight in a couple months will be.
Got it. So I love that people are so mad about Pacquiao Mayweather. It's not even a fight; they're just dancing out there. Yeah, that's how these two guys fight.
Yes. No.
They were used to like Tyson Holyfield and. Like they were thinking like Ali Frazier, type fights. It's just like complete knocking down, or like Duran and Leonard. No, that's not how these jabronis fight.
Those are heavyweight boxers. And not for me, not knowing a damn thing about boxing, I knew it wasn't going to be like just like monster till kill each other apart. It's who's smarter defensively to.
Well, Manny used to be a killer, except in that fight he was old and hurt.
Yeah, and we don't want to talk about that anymore.
And then you remembered he's Filipino. Ay.
Oh.
All right, one more.
All right, we kind of talked about it already, the daylight savings.
Yeah. Just end it.
I think, it's we complained about it before, and CNN love them to death, but I mean, one of their top headline stories of this last weekend was literally talking about scientific studies showing that this isn't that this isn't good for you. This isn't healthy for you. This daylight savings. More people have strokes the few days after daylight savings time, which I question that scientific study. But I mean, who's profiting with daylight savings time anyway? I mean, you have to think that someone wants to keep it around. I think there has been at least one organization trying that try to pass it through Congress to get rid of it, to amend us using it, but I think it kept falling in the process.
Yeah. Just get rid of it. That's the news.
The news with Uncle Nick.
From the entire Channel 4 news team, I'm Veronica Corningstone.
And I'm Ron Burgundy. Go yourself, San Diego.
Good stuff. Enjoy the show. Tell a friend. Spread the word. Add to the Jerome Army, because remember, everyone's middle name is Jerome. Thanks, producer Allie Jerome Sorensen, for making me not sound so stupid today. But, Nick, you have a good time?
Yeah, I had a blast. I always enjoy this.
Damn straight. For Nick, I'm Andy Carlson saying Annyeong, sayonara, and bye-bye. And go do some things today on Monday.
Thanks for listening to Bull with Andy Carlson, Minnesota's 87th best daily podcast. Download the show on iTunes. Everyone's middle name is Jerome.